How you now, and how's she cutting? Let's kick it off, because every day is a school day, and I'd be speaking in riddles and I'd be speaking in rhymes. But stay with me now, because I'll show you how to save time on your edits. So let's go. Here's a quick tutorial with 5 editing tips I'm sure will go a long way from you. I'm Tom, I'm a professional editor here in Ireland with over a decade of industry experience. So when working on client projects, the key is speed, but with no impact on the quality that you give back. My cat's gonna jump up, there he goes. Hard to film videos with cats. Right, what are you gonna do? So a lot of this comes from experience, just becoming more confident in your decisions as an editor, knowing what to look for, and just overall knowledge of your editing software really. Luckily for you watching, I'm going to give you some tips in this series, the How She Cutting series, so you're going to be able to get to a much better standard of editing a lot quicker than most do. I'm going to give you some real world examples as well for some of these, which may help you decide if they're worth using in your own workflow. Clip color organization. This is one I've used for years, color coding the sections in your timeline so you know what's what, just from an overview of the timeline without actually having to scrub through the timeline. This time-saving trick really saves you a lot of time in the long run. So like when I have several different points to cover in a video and I just want to keep it organized, I'll just color code each section to a different color. I can be pretty bad myself for rewatching my footage over and over again, but one thing I'll do is when I'm definitely done with a section, I'll color code it green just to remind myself not to spend time rewatching it. It's just a handy visual reminder essentially, because all that rewatching really takes up a lot of time. So for example, if you're color coding certain parts on a long talking head, and let's say after you got your best takes and you'd mark them green to like indicate the good ones, so come up to timeline, select clips with color. You can use this tool to select all those clips that were green to then just move them to just like a different section. So they're all kind of combined together. Swap clips. This is perfect for seeing which edit works better. It allows you to switch the clip's position without like impacting other things on the timeline and like knocking things out of place. So the standard shortcut for this is Control Shift and comma and Control Shift full stop. So I remapped it to Alt X and Alt Z myself, and look, whatever way you shortcut this yourself, you just want to know, especially for creating highlight videos and seeing which shots follow each other better. So if you've been enjoying this video so far, I've loads of useful Davinci Resolve tutorials, which you can check out here, and please do consider subscribing so you don't miss any upcoming episodes of How She Cutting. How to edit long interviews very quickly, and I'm going to give you a real world example here. So oftentimes I'll have a long video, perhaps like a panel discussion or speaker on stage, or just like, I don't know, it could be just a documentary interview. And this can be an hour long or more. Now I can spend time guessing what the client wants, or I can use Davinci Resolve's transcript feature and I can get the client a copy of the text itself. Once they come back to me with the text they want included, I can then search back that text and then I can just insert it. So this is a real time saver for both me and the client, and it always propels the project in the right direction. And then it cuts down on all the potential re-edits as well. And this also not only gives the client a bit more involvement in the project, which they often appreciate, but it also frees you up for other editing in the project further along as you await the text file back. So this is a pretty efficient workflow, I find. Music Ducker. I love this feature to Davinci Resolve. It's currently only in Davinci Resolve 19, which is currently in the beta. I know Premiere had a similar feature a few years ago, so this is really great to have back again in the Owl Editor's toolkit. I myself spend so much time keyframing audio on my projects, and I get super frustrated zooming in and selecting the keyframes, and sometimes I don't select, and it always just adds time to my editing. So it's really nice to have something that works so well and it just saves you so much time. Here's an example. Come down to the audio track and click here. This will bring up the audio options up here in the inspector. Click Ducker, select your source. This will be the dialogue track. Change the duck level to bring the music lower. In the Advanced tab, you can configure how quick the duck is. Play around with these to see what suits. You'll see over here on these areas, where there's no dialogue, this is where the audio will come back up and it will return back down once the dialogue begins. One thing to note is it doesn't show the keyframes on the audio clip itself, but it does work. Improve the look of your text. We've all been there with this one. You have pretty nice titles, but when you add them, they look a bit out of place and just cluttered on screen. And I find the best way around this myself, it's just a simple one. It's just to lower that opacity of the background footage while the text is on the screen. See the difference? It looks much better, doesn't it? I have another video with 10 Davinci Resolve tips that'll make you a better editor for sure. Go and watch it and improve your editing.